So I've tried and failed on multiple occasions to fill this inflatable dome completely up with water, and we've gotten it pretty full but never full enough. But today that's all going to change. I'm going to be filling this dome as much as I can, filling it all day with water. The footage right here shows about an hour of the dome filling and expanding with water while I chilled in the pool and watched it. Everything was going smoothly, and after another 2 hours the dome looked like this. It was getting pretty full but still not full enough. I wanted to be able to swim in this. The water was, however, at a point where I had to add tape so none leaked out. I got in and sealed it up so no water would leak out, and this is what the dome looked like inside. It was pretty neat. I then got out and left it for a very long time, and after several more hours it looked like this. Yeah, it didn't get much deeper because the dome wasn't strong enough to hold any more water. So then I had another idea. Running around in my giant hamster ball inside the dome. So I put it in there, aired up inside the hamster ball like this with a leaf blower, and then started running around. And it was really crazy. I looked like some sort of weird snow globe. I ran around in it like this, fell a bunch of times, and then it was time to leave. And the water went everywhere. Crown Royal drop test. It's safe. The bottle is in perfect health. Sky high grass drop. It's fine. Go. Crown Royale versus pool. Die! Now my brother's gonna attempt to run it over with the scooter. We're gonna drop a rock on it. Waist high rock drop. Rock drop again. So one day you guys wanted me to take a pair of these drippy water shoes to the pawn shop guy to see what he'd give me for them, and I couldn't find them anywhere on the internet, so I decided to make my own. I gathered the supplies and then I began water sealing this plastic bag over this shoe. It looked pretty good, so I did the same thing to the other pair and then I tried them on. My goal was just to make them to where they were walkable and could hold water. They looked really good and felt really solid. I jumped around on them like this, and then before we took them to pawn, we tried the water test, and it kind of leaked, but we took them anyway along with a bunch of other stuff. Balenciagas. We also got this, the world's tiniest Rubik's Cube, and this brand new iPhone. And then I went in the pawn shop. Yo, I've got probably the coolest thing I've ever brought in here, honestly, and probably the most expensive.
Wow, did you hit the lottery or something?
No. I'm gonna show you some items first. I'm gonna save the best for last. First, we got this. It's like a Minecraft pickaxe. It doubles as a Minecraft sword. Yeah, you wanna see it?
It's pretty cool. How much?
30 bucks.
They're only $23 on eBay. For 10?
I'll do it. And I set the tone good with my first sale. Other thing I have is this iPhone.
Oh my, that's an oldie.
It's a little old and damaged. Probably still worth about $150.
It's not looking like it's coming on. Yeah, I probably ought to pass on that.
Oh, okay. Now I have the world's tiniest Rubik's Cube.
That is small.
Yeah, it's got smiley faces on it.
You got some quality stuff. I'll probably pass on that. I don't know where they're...
Do you see designer shoes very often in your pawn shop?
Yeah, we see them occasionally.
So you know, like, they're worth a lot of money sometimes.
Some of them.
In here, I have a one-of-a-kind sneaker. This is what I call Balenciagas. You put water in them, and then they're water shoes.
Had you maybe thought about using a heavier duty Ziploc bag?
No, this is part of the shoe. Let me just demonstrate for you.
Okay. Uh-oh. Do I make a mess?
No, this is just in case. So you can pour the water in right here, and then you have the drippy water shoes.
Drippy water shoes.
Oh, it holds water.
Wow. Got a little wet spot back there.
It's leaking. These are worth $5,000.
$5,000? Well, go get me some tape and a bag and I'll make you several pairs.
You can't do that.
Looks like a pretty faulty design. Well, what kind of shoes are they?
It's Balenciaga. One-of-a-kind Balenciaga.
Where are those made at?
Yeah.
Those made in China.
What?
You said they're made in Italy. These say made in China.
They look like the legit ones.
How old are you? Do you need glasses?
I'm gonna go.
Maybe next time.
So one day I wanted to create an indestructible box for my giant ostrich egg to survive a really heavy fall. They're already really hard to break. So I ordered a brand new egg that came in this diaper, and then it was time to build something that would allow it to survive the drop off my roof. My idea was to put it back in the little box it came in, stuff it with stuff, then put it around this styrofoam, tape it up like this, put a pool noodle around it for extra support, and it was ready for the drop. Ready for the drop test. Comment down below if you think it's gonna smash. 3, 2, 1, go! I picked up the egg and I could see a little bit of dribble, so I opened it up like this and the egg was completely smashed. So one day I bought a ton of giant bottles and a ton of insulation spray to build and test this cool boat design I saw on the internet. The design is supported by a bunch of water jugs like this, and then a bunch of wood that we had to cut to go perfectly through the bottle. We measured out the wood to fit exactly through the bottles like this, and then we began screwing in the connecting pieces of wood to connect all the rows together. And with a few more boards and screws, we had 8 bottles connected together and ready for the platform. And I was amazed at how this was turning out. After we got these last boards on, the boat looked great, and it was time for the gap filler. We then moved the boat to start adding the great stuff. This stuff is just to keep all the bottles intact and together and to make it more buoyant for the water. I filled in between all the bottles, got around the edges like this, added a bunch more here, there, and everywhere, until I had used 12 bottles of great stuff, and it was time to let it sit overnight. And the next day it looked like this. It looked insanely good. So we loaded it up and hauled it down to go test out in the water. I pushed it in the water like this and got on, and it was actually pretty stable. I rowed out further, hoping it wouldn't sink. And then I went all the way around the pond and even stood up on it. And then my brother wanted to test it out and try to make it underneath a bridge, so I let him go. He went off, started rowing, and we concluded the boat works great. So let me know what else we should try.
Jack, say what's up.
So after trying to sell my homemade drippy water shoes to the pawn shop guy like this,
You put water in them, and then they're water shoes.
Thought about using a heavier duty Ziploc bag?
he totally denied me and made me look like a fool.
Do you need glasses?
And you guys commented telling me to purchase fake Yeezys off the TikTok shop and try to sell them to him. So that's exactly what I did. They're more like house shoes and they cost me $35, but I'm going to be taking them along with this homemade boat I made to the pawn shop to see what I can get.
What's up, Dylan?
Do you remember the other day when I tried to sell you the water shoes?
Yep.
You didn't end up buying them?
Yeah, they were kind of crappy.
Have you heard of Yeezys?
Oh yeah, I've had some of those in before.
Well, I bought these Yeezys off the TikTok shop. Here they are.
What in the world? I think these are just house shoes. Shouldn't they say Yeezys on them?
Well, it said Yeezy on the TikTok shop when I bought them. They were $350.
It says right here, slippers. You get them on Amazon. I mean, right there's the same ones for
Right.
$18.99.
what? I paid $35 for these on
I
TikTok.
thought you said $350.
Yeah, $350.
Well, at least you got a good pair of house shoes you can wear.
So you don't want them?
No, I'll probably ought to pass.
I've got one more thing that you might want. It's outside.
You want me to go outside?
And I then took him outside to show him my boat.
I got a boat. Yeah, I made it myself.
Does it float?
Yeah, $500 and it's yours.
I made it. I showed him a video of it working, but he was uninterested, so then I just ran away. So one day I wanted to see if I could blow up an air mattress. I aired it to normal size and it was time to explode.
Air it up until it pops.
And it slowly began getting way bigger.
It's getting so big.
And as time went on, we could see it expanding as the air mattress got bigger and bigger, which even made the air pump disconnect.
This thing is so full.
And I took a break from airing it up to look at it. It was really curvy. I tried to throw it like this to see if it would randomly pop, but it didn't, so I just continued airing it up until we had another air pump disconnect, so I resorted to throwing stuff at it. I threw the shovel and missed, and then threw again, hoping for a giant explosion, but
That's all it did?
yeah, let me know what else I should try. So in my last video, we tried to blow up this inflatable air mattress. And we got it pretty full, but it wouldn't pop, so I threw this shovel at it and accidentally just poked a hole in it instead of blowing it up. So we're going to be trying again to completely pop the air mattress.
Time to fully pop the mattress.
I began airing up a brand new mattress in this empty room like this. It was getting really full, so I let it fill a little bit longer, and then we decided to move the whole thing outside.
We're going again.
This is when the air mattress started popping each individual layer of the mattress.
There goes one. Oh, there goes two. When's the third one gonna collapse? Oh, there goes the third one. The fourth one's about to collapse any second now. Ah! These will all collapse, and then the whole thing will explode.
The air mattress kept on popping layer by layer until eventually we had the last pop before the giant explosion.
Oh my
And with it being as big as a giant balloon, all that's left was for it to pop.
Oh, that's gonna pop. Pop already. Oh, there we go. Oh. This is a 5-pound steel ball. I'm going to be taking this and putting it in the zip line to destroy objects. These are the things we're going to be smashing today. First item up, this jar. So it should swing into the jar like this. 3, 2, 1. What's going to happen? First collision.
And it just knocked the jar over like this, so we had to put it back up to try again.
Attempt 2.
And this one missed it first as well, but then completely smashed the jar.
Oh my. Now for a cup of joe.
And next up was this coffee maker, which we also missed at first.
Oh! Jar number 2. Go. Hit it. Oh! Dude, that one was insane. Next up, fridge. Let's go. Hit it. Steel ball. Next up is a picture of my family. They left me.
And after destroying the picture, it was time to destroy this microwave.
Ah!
In it. And last but not least was this old Mac.
Hit it! Hit it! Destroyed.
So after trying to fool the pawn shop guy and taking lots of random stuff in to see him,
Signed by Michael Jordan. 2 gold nuggets.
I don't think it looks like Michael Jordan.
I always come out short and fail to sell anything. So you guys commented telling me to take $100 and actually buy something from the pawn shop
Oh,
guy.
hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm just here to look around for fun.
Okay, that's different. Well, look around. Let me know if you got any
So I
questions.
began looking for something to buy.
Hey, what's this?
That is a strong box off of an old Stagecoach.
Is this a safe at the
Yep,
bottom of it?
That's a safe out of one of the old Sonic restaurants.
How much is the safe?
Well, I lost the combination to it, so I'd make you a deal on it. $100.
You do $100 on the safe?
How about a Louis Vuitton wallet?
How much is this?
I'd take $300 for it.
$300 for a wallet?
It's actually an $850 wallet.
What's back here? Ukulele, I know how to play this.
There you go.
On a small island. $40. Oh, they got a scuba tank thing.
That's an old dive helmet.
This thing's cool. How much is this?
Probably $1,000. What about a banjo ukulele? Okay, maybe not the ukulele.
Oh, what's that? Is that a big watch?
This watch would look good on you.
Wow.
Maybe a little big for your wrist.
How much is this?
I don't know. I just use it for decoration.
What about that blue watch? How much is that worth?
I do $125 on it. You got a girlfriend?
Yeah. Gucci?
Gucci.
How much is that?
I got $350 on it. I'd probably do 2.5.
I got some Gucci flip-flops.
Are they real, or did you get them off Amazon?
And I wasn't really
what else
finding
is there?
anything, so I continued to
Cool.
browse around the store looking for something to buy.
Chainsaw.
Is it price?
$95.
$80.
Oh, another safe.
And then I remembered about the safe from earlier.
Wait, how much was this safe at the bottom?
$80.
Feels nice.
Yeah, if I knew the combination to it, you'd probably take it home and crack it.
And then I knew I had to buy it to try and crack
Listen to
it.
You don't know the combination?
I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't know what I did with it. So when I bought it, it came out of one of the Sonic restaurants. I had the combination, but we moved.
Is there anything inside of it?
Maybe a Coney or something. But
Dude, we could get in that safe.
I then told him I wanted it, so we began moving it out.
it's pretty heavy.
A mystery safe.
Take it up, load it up, and come back and pay me and bring my dolly back.
So then I headed out the door with this ancient safe.
Everybody, look at my safe. My brand new mystery safe.
My brother and I then struggled to put it in the back of my car, and then we went back inside
Here
and
you go.
paid.
Thank
For
you.
the
How much did I
safe.
tell you?
80.
Tax and everything, you get a penny back.
It's all right, right?
Just kidding. There you go. Let me show you the safe that's bigger than that one.
And he then took me to the back to show me the safes he had.
Oh, whoa. Yo. I bet I could break into this thing.
You want to get in it?
Yeah.
How long can we leave you in there?
Don't leave me in there. Oh. Help!
You want to try to get out?
Help! I'm
Come
stuck.
back in a couple hours.
So the other day I bought this really old safe without a combination from the pawn shop.
Wait, how much was this safe?
$80.
Feels nice.
Yeah, if I knew the combination to it, probably take it home and crack
And I
it.
knew I was going to get
Is there
inside.
anything inside of it?
Maybe a Coney or something.
So I bought it for $80.
My brand new mystery safe. I'm gonna get in it.
And now I'm going to try everything to see what's inside, starting with this 5-pound steel ball, which did nothing but dent it. So I moved
Hammer.
on to the next item, this hammer, beating it all over like this, on top, on the side, on the bottom. And after that didn't work, I got out the bat, which just made my hands vibrate.
My hand. This is the world's most powerful magnet.
So then I took my magnet and pulled the safe down like this, and I noticed the bottom of the safe was really rusty, and I tried to see inside. And after beating the rust with my hammer didn't work, it was time to step up our game. Time to drill into the safe.
What do you think is in the safe?
ham sandwich.
We got out the drill and just started drilling the lock like this until this thing came off. And it still wouldn't open, so I kept drilling until the whole lock came off.
Oh my
I then
God.
tried to turn it open, but just pulled the handle off like this. So we just kept beating the safe in like this until some more things fell off, and then it wouldn't open. So I kicked it, and then we resorted to sawing the hinges in half, which made it kind of open, but not all the way. So we tried taking the sledgehammer to it, and then I had the idea to cut from hole to hole on the rusted side. And I couldn't believe it. It was actually open. We were going to see what was inside the safe. I reached in, and this was the first
There
item.
is a coney in there. Some change.
So we tried blowing up a giant inflatable air mattress and figured out we could blow it up by constantly airing it up and letting it pop layer by layer like this until it was super big and popped, which gave me the idea, can you do the same thing to a giant inflatable couch? So I ordered this $70 inflatable couch off Amazon, blew it up like this, and it was ready to test.
This couch is comfy. Cup holder.
We moved it out to the middle of the road.
Time for the couch to blow.
And then began inflating the couch. And in the first couple minutes, we could see the couch already start expanding, and it looked like as big as it would get.
We've hit the 11-minute mark. This thing is huge.
And we noticed every part of the couch looked about 5 times bigger than the normal size of it. So we kept going and we could see the back of the couch expanding over the top. And it expanded so much it left a tiny hole that we had to repair with the patch kit. The couch kept inflating without any signs of popping. And it's already lasted longer than the air mattress.
This is one durable couch.
And we continued to inflate it for over 40 minutes and we found another hole. The pressure kept tearing holes before it blew up the couch, so we resorted to plan B.
Fire.
Shooting it with a thumbtack. But it didn't do anything. So I just chucked a giant rock at it and failed. So one day I had the idea to fill my parents' storm cellar completely up with popcorn. So I ordered 50 pounds of popcorn kernels in these 3 air popper popcorn machines and got started trying to find the best way to completely fill up the storm cellar. I moved the machines from the top to the bottom like this, and I left them on for quite a while, just spraying popcorn all over the inside of the storm cellar until the floor was almost getting full. But it wasn't going fast enough, so we had to come up with another idea. I got this popcorn machine out to try to make everything go faster, but it just started pouring rain. So we were forced to make all the popcorn inside. We got these machines going like this, and we just let them go for a long time and started filling up all these trash bags with popcorn. And after a lot longer of popping and popping, we had one full trash bag of popcorn.
One trash bag full.
So I took it out to the storm cellar to see how much of a difference it made. And all it did was completely cover the floor, so we had a lot more work to do. We left the things popping for like an hour until we completely filled another trash bag full of popcorn. And I tossed it on in, and this is what it looked like. And I estimated we'd need about 8 times the popcorn.
Wow,
So we spent hours upon hours devising the perfect popcorn popping strategy, running 3 poppers non-stop, filling up bag after bag until we literally had 16 bags of popcorn, and all the popcorn was popped.
Here goes the first bag.
Now all that was left to do was to fill it up bag by bag and have some fun.
5.
I dumped every single trash bag full of popcorn into the storm cellar one by one like this until we were completely out. And then I jumped in.
Whoa!
My parents' storm cellar was completely filled and I was completely surrounded by popcorn.
I'm surrounded by popcorn.
I did the most logical thing and buried myself in it, and then I got up and my girlfriend got inside the popcorn. And then I let my brother give it a shot as well.
Whoa. This is so weird, dude. I'm in a storm cellar full of popcorn right now. I'm gonna completely cover myself up. I feel like a popcorn king. Should I eat one? Pretty comfy. Looks like it's snowing popcorn.
So let me know what else I should do with the popcorn. So after completely filling my storm cellar up with popcorn in my last video by using these air poppers to fill up bag after bag until we had completely filled up the storm cellar, I had a new idea with the popcorn. Clean it up and put it all in my hamster ball. I got out my giant human-sized hamster ball, and then we started shoveling all the popcorn into the hamster ball like this. And here's a time lapse of scooping scoop after scoop of so much popcorn into the hamster ball. We aired it up, and this is what it looked like. It looked really cool. And now it was just time for me to get inside the giant hamster ball full of popcorn. I got in, my brother aired me up, and it created like this tornado effect of popcorn around me until I was completely aired up in the ball.
It looks like one giant batch of popcorn.
And then I just tried it out. I did a run in it like this, and it looked pretty cool with all the popcorn. I then stood up and tried to do a couple flips in the popcorn like this, but it didn't really cushion my blow at all. So I then just ran as fast as I could in the popcorn and slid like this. And at that point, I was completely covered in popcorn, so it was time to get out. So one day I ordered these $400 giant crock boots to take them to the pawn shop guy to see how much he would give me for them.
That's a big box.
Yeah, I got something crazy inside of this. It's really hard to get a hold of these because they're really viral right now. You've heard of Crocs, right? Have you heard of Croc boots?
I've seen them before.
There we go. Here's some regular Crocs in there. These are the Croc boots.
Those things are hideous.
They're really cool, huh?
Oh my gosh. Somebody worn them?
I wore them around a little bit just to try them on. They're worth a lot of money and they're really viral right now. Celebrities are wearing them.
What do you want to do with them?
I just want to see how much you would buy them for. Worth about $500. Here, I'll try them on for you.
Man, those are hideous. Oh my god. Are they comfortable?
Yeah, they're really comfy actually. What size are you?
14.
Oh, here, let me walk around.
I did my best job showing off the croc boots.
Look at them, pretty sturdy.
Those are pretty cool. How much you say they're worth?
Like 500.
Let's look them up. Oh, there they are. $359 on StockX right now. I kind of like the looks of the red ones better.
The best I would be able to do is 400.
How much you get for them?
A lot of money.
Did you say 5? Because the receipt where you bought it is in the box. It says you only gave $354 for them.
Oh, well, we don't need to see that. It looks like I'm gonna have to walk, I guess.
So then I left with my Croc
See ya.
boots. 2 years ago, I did the world's largest elephant toothpaste experiment ever done inside a giant pumpkin. This year, I bought a bunch of giant pumpkins. This one we ran completely over like this. But we saved this one, the biggest one, weighing 400 pounds, for another giant jack-o'-lantern elephant toothpaste experiment. I started out with a regular pumpkin carving kit, but it wasn't doing enough. So I got out this hammer thing and started prying into the pumpkin. And we finally had to use a machete to get all the way through because it was so thick. And here was the guts. I did my best scooping them out by hand like this, and some of it was impossible to get out.
This is like hard. Look at this, it's like a mound of guts.
And then I wanted to see how far I could stick my head in.
I'm in a giant pumpkin. I'm in a giant pumpkin.
And then it was empty.
Pretty clear.
And the pumpkin was ready for
In
carving.
the face.
And just like that, the jack-o'-lantern was complete and it was ready for the elephant toothpaste. I took the top off the pumpkin, poured the solution, and put it in the pumpkin inside the pumpkin.
All right, this should work. 3, 2, 1. It's going.
And it started out slower than last time, going first out the mouth and then expanding a lot.
Fuck it.
And it kept expanding and completely covering the giant pumpkin and elephant toothpaste.
Elephant toothpaste.
Today I wanted to find out if a pawn shop could tell the difference between a $20 fake watch and my friend's real $15,000 Rolex.
Hey, I got something. I'm just going to get straight to the point. This right here on my wrist is a $10,000 watch. Yeah, you want to look at it?
You know it's not real, right?
No, it is. They range like around 10,000.
The diamonds are actually glued in. They're not set in.
Oh, so you don't think it's real at
It's
all?
not real at all. Feel that.
Oh,
It doesn't have a name on it.
so how much would you give me for it then?
I would throw it in the trash for you if you want.
I paid $20 for this. Well, okay, well, I have a real watch in my pocket.
Oh, so now you're saying that was not real.
Maybe. This is a genuine Rolex. Take a
Think
look.
so?
Yeah, I think so. Look at it.
Tell by holding it, it's not real.
No, that's real.
How much you want to bet?
$5.
Let's bet on it. You're starting to see some silver coming through that right there?
Yeah.
Well, this is supposed to be 18 karat gold.
He then compared it to his real Rolex and told me it would say that it was 18 karat gold at the bottom. But to be 100% sure it was fake, I had him run a scratch test, a weight test, where it weighed about half of what it would weigh if it was real, then an acid test, and some other tests where he took off the backing and saw it didn't even say Rolex.
So they're both fake?
Yep, both are fake.
So yeah, my friend got scammed. Let me know what else I should do. How much real gold can you find in these toy sand bricks that you can buy at Walmart? Apparently 1 in 24 of these gold bricks that are made for children contain real gold. So I did the most logical thing and bought 24 bricks for $100 to guarantee I would find gold. I wanted to see if it was true and find out how much money the gold was really worth. I started out digging through the sand with the tools it came with, but it wasn't going well, so I got out this hammer and then just snapped it in half and revealed the obsidian rock. But no gold, so I carried on, snapping the bricks in half, finding another rock, but in the third one I found this.
It's gold! It's gold!
I opened it up and inside was the tiniest little speck of gold I've ever seen in my life. And after finding out all the other bricks contained nothing but rocks, it was time to see what the real gold was worth. So I took it to the pawn shop to find out.
I have a piece of gold. You see it?
That might be the smallest piece of gold I've ever seen.
I want to see how much it's worth. See if I can make my money back.
It's so small, I don't know if I could even
And after a thorough examination, he told me it was worth about $5 and then offered me.
I'd probably give you $2 for it. There you go, sir.
So one day I bought the world's biggest candy to hand out on Halloween night, and things got really crazy really fast. It started out normal and calm, giving out all the regular full-size candy bars,
I got these nuts. Can I have these nuts?
and everyone was loving it.
Can I have a nut tonight?
Here you go.
And then I started handing out the giant candy.
Thank you.
Can I get one? Thank you. You're the best.
Can I have a
And then things started to pick up as more and more kids started to
Here's a
show
giant
up.
gummy bear. Here's a Reese's.
Word spread, and they even started asking for the giant candy.
Get a big gummy bear.
So I gave it to them, and even let them walk in and take it. Until I was down to my last one.
You have the giant gummy bears?
I have one left.
Can I have give me
And they went crazy fighting over the last gummy.
I'm going to throw it up in the air, okay? Back up, back up. Ready? Oh gosh, don't get hurt.
Nobody caught it. Nobody caught it.
I caught it!
Well, oh, he stole
And
it.
to console the chaos, I just handed out a bunch of Feastables. So this berry can apparently make anything sour taste sweet. So I went to Walmart and bought a bunch of random sour items to test out this magical berry for myself.
Let's see if this works. Starting off, lemon. Try it without the berry. Sour. Now, I take one of the berries and try again.
And before eating anything sour, you're supposed to eat the berry and swish it around for about 30 seconds. So that's what I did, and I was ready to try the lemon.
Holy moly. Tastes like lemonade. Dude, this stuff works.
And then I moved on to the next level of sour.
This is a sour chip. It's supposed to taste like a lime.
I ate the chip, and the flavors were immediately so interesting.
I definitely still taste the sour lime, but it's so much sweeter than it normally is. Wow. The sour Skittle.
And when I ate the Skittle, I tasted zero sour.
I don't even taste the sour, I swear.
And for comparison, here's my brother eating it. Pretty sour.
It eliminated all the sourness from the sour Skittle and just made it extra sweet. The final test is the Warhead.
And immediately the Warhead was a little sour, but it got sweet faster than any Warhead I've ever had.
The sourness is gone now. That's the easiest I've ever ate a Warhead.
So I ate another one and confirmed these berries do work. Let me know what else to try. So one day I had the idea to fill my human-sized hamster ball completely up with fog to find out if the fog would stay trapped in the hamster ball overnight. We aired up the hamster ball with the fog machine inside and then sealed it up, and it was ready to go. Now I just pressed this red button and the fog started dispensing all over the hamster ball. I wanted to make it completely white so you couldn't see through it at all. And I let the fog go for several more minutes until the hamster ball was completely filled. Then I just ripped these cords out to completely seal it. And I'm going to be coming back tomorrow to see if the fog's still there. Stay tuned. So one day I saw this Stanley Cup go viral for surviving a fire, and I was curious if it was true or not, so I borrowed my girlfriend's Stanley Cup without asking her to see if it really lived up to the hype.
My girlfriend loves this cup, but this is for science.
I prepared 4 durability tests for this cup at increasing levels of difficulty, ending with me running it completely over. I started with the first test using blunt force.
Starting with baseball bat.
I got off this bat and just whacked it. The cup went flying, and this was the damage. And I give the first test a 2-star survival rating. The next test is a drop test, and I don't have any heights around, so I just chucked it up in the air. And after hitting the ground, it left the Stanley with a few dings, but overall, I give 4 stars for survival. The third test is what made this cup viral. Fire. And remember, I'm a trained professional. Do not attempt. We buried the cups in leaves and lighter fluid, and the Stanley was soon engulfed in flames. And eventually, the cup caught fire and was slowly burning.
The straw melted.
We threw some water on it, and this was the damage. The cup was kind of charred, and the straw was completely melted. I give this test 2 stars. And for the final test, I set the Stanley in the road to run it over. We lined it up and missed on the first try, so I repositioned the cup, and then we backed over, completely crushing the Stanley. And here's what it looks like now. Pretty much destroyed. I give this test a 1 star. So one day I wanted to take one of these giant ostrich eggs to the pawn shop guy to see how much he would give me. So I got a brand new one as well as this other item called the tear stick that can make you cry on command and the world's tiniest slinky. And then I went in to see what they were worth.
I got some crazy things that you might want to buy. First thing is the world's smallest slinky. See? Look how tiny it is.
Well, it is small. Does it work?
He then tried to play with it and thought it didn't even
I
work.
think it's defective.
So I just got out the next
This
item.
is used in Hollywood when actors, they need to cry on a scene. It's called a tear stick. So you just rub this under your eyes. It makes you cry.
Why don't you cry for me? See if it really works.
It kind of burns your eyes.
So I put it on my eyes to demonstrate how it worked. And he even tried it out for
I thought
himself.
it burns. I'm actually crying.
And it actually made him shed a tear, so I hit
I
him
don't
with
know
my
that I want
price.
to cry that much. But I think it's just a menthol stick.
I was thinking like 30 bucks on it.
I'd give you $3 for it.
You know what? I'll take it.
We made a deal, and I moved on to my egg.
One more thing.
What's that?
You're going to want to buy this.
Softball? A diaper? Is that an egg?
This is an ostrich egg.
There's stuff in it.
Here's a normal egg, and here's an ostrich egg. Here's the yolk. So one of these can provide you like 100 grams of protein.
Wow.
I'll sell it to you for 50 bucks. You can boil it. You can stand on it.
How about 20? I think I'd make an omelet for 20 bucks.
25.
Just like that, we had a deal. Let me know what else to bring in. So after completely filling my parents' storm cellar up with popcorn, spending days popping popcorn and filling it up to the top, I had a new idea for the storm cellar. I wanted to turn it into the ultimate gaming setup. This way I could play as much Lego Fortnite as I wanted. First step was cleaning up the cellar because it was kind of dirty. Here's all the dirt I got out of it, and once it was clean, it was time to add the giant Legos. Here's all the giant Legos I bought to put inside the storm cellar, and I just began stacking them on the walls. My goal was to just cover each wall and add some color to the storm cellar to really make it pop. And after quite some time, I was on to my last crate, and we had completely filled up the storm cellar with Legos, and this is what it looked like. Now for the gaming setup. I ran an extension cord all the way down to the storm cellar, got a little TV out, then my brother graciously loaned us his PS5. We put that all in the storm cellar, hooked it up, and it was time to run Fortnite. I then loaded up a new Lego Fortnite world, and it worked perfectly. Now I can just get on my phone's hotspot, go inside the cellar, and run Fortnite. Completely immersed in the storm cellar. So after seeing that Gail Lewis's signed Walmart vest was bidding for over $400,000, it gave me an idea. I bought a vest at Walmart and replicated Gail Lewis's signature to see how much the pawn shop guy would give me for it.
Have you heard of Gail Lewis? No.
Oh, the Walmart employee?
Yeah.
Quit after 10 years?
Well, so you'll
I
know.
actually bid on a vest that she had on eBay that was going to charity.
Oh, really? It got banned off eBay because it was going for like so much money.
Yep.
Anyway, I got a hold of her and she signed this new vest for me with her signature, Gail Lewis.
Nice.
And I just want to see how much you would want to buy it for.
It seemed like the one she had was actually in a frame. Oh, so this is not the same vest that it was the one that was for sale.
Oh no, this is just a different one I had her sign.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking since that one was going for $400,000, maybe like $100,000 on this one would be fair.
You think so? Even though it's actually not a Walmart vest, someone just wrote Walmart on there.
But that's still her signature on this vest.
Yeah, I don't know. Her signature looks a lot smaller.
And then he pulled up the real signature.
The G is totally messed up. Yeah, I don't think she actually signed it. I think it's someone else maybe just going as her. But I mean, the vest has got to have some kind of value. So I mean, I'd give you a couple bucks for the vest.
I know what my vest is worth.
And I had to walk. Comment what else to try. So one day I wanted to flex seal this giant ostrich egg to see if it would keep it from breaking. These eggs are already extremely durable and can survive almost anything besides a car. So I got out this yellow flex seal and started coating the entire egg in the flex seal with the first layer. And then I left and came back when it was dry to add another coat. It was completely dry, so we flipped it over and added the second coat on top, completely covering the egg. And it looked really neat, so I left one more time and came back again, added another coat, and then it was time to let it sit for 24 hours and then test it. And the next day, the egg was dry, and it looked super cool and felt super durable and rubbery. We're going to toss this up in the air. Comment down below if you think the Flex Seal will make it survive, or if the egg will crack.
3, 2, 1.
Go!
And here's the slow-mo. It just completely shattered the egg and was barely intact. Today I wanted to see how much money I could actually make trying to sell stuff at the pawn shop, including this rare coin collection that I actually bought from the pawn shop guy 6 months ago to see if it would appreciate in value, and some other household items including spray chalk, life straw, this camera, and this old iPhone that I wanted to sell.
Hey, what's up? You might recognize this thing.
I do recognize that.
Yeah, you sold this to me. I think these have appreciated in value.
You think so?
I just want to see how much, I could get out of these.
And he told me the same price I bought them for.
200 bucks.
I'll think about it. Let me show you some other stuff. Next up, we have this Bang Energy lifting belt. You work out?
Does it look like I work out? A good hat. Oh, I don't know. It's probably worth 10 bucks.
Let's do it.
You want it?
No.
And just like that, we were up $10.
I got this Polaroid camera.
Oh, wow. Is that from 1967?
No, it's new.
Is that the one that's about $1 a shot to take a picture?
It doesn't come with film.
Oh, that's what costs all the money. I'd probably pitch it for you if you want. I don't know that I'd want to buy it.
So I moved on.
Spray chalk.
Spray chalk.
It's like fake spray paint. You can prank somebody, spray paint their car, and you want them to get all freaked out and prank them.
You want how much?
20.
They're $8.19 at Walmart. How about $5?
And that brought our total to $15. Then I showed him the life
Oh, I
straw.
got one of those.
Oh, you got one? Yeah, you want to buy it?
It's hard to buy a used straw.
Next up, got an iPhone 13 Pro Max.
That's pretty nice. What do you want for it?
500.
I'd probably do $350. I mean, I could probably sell it for you. If you want to leave it here, I'll sell on commission and just charge you 10 or 15% or whatever I sell it for.
So I left him the phone to sell and left with $15.
I'm rich!
So one day, after finding gold in the sand brick and spending $100 to find it, I took it to the pawn shop to see how much it was
I
worth.
have a piece of gold. You see it?
That might be the smallest piece of gold I've ever seen.
And he weighed it and basically said it was worth about $2. So that's what he gave me. But today I found the same thing in diamond version, but even bigger. They were $10 a pop, and I bought the gold and the diamond. I opened it up, and inside was this giant sand diamond that I opened up and started trying to dig through. But it wasn't working, so I got out this hammer and just started beating the diamond in. Until finally I just had to take it outside and slam it on the ground, and inside was not a diamond but this rock. So I moved on to try to break open the other diamond I bought. I just hit it with the hammer a bunch of times and ended up just throwing it on the ground as well.
No diamond.
And after throwing down the other diamond, I was beginning to think we got scammed, finding another rock. But I still had the giant gold brick left with a 1 in 24 chance of finding real gold.
Oh, it's gold! Dude, this was a 1 in 24 shot. I only bought one of these.
And I couldn't believe it. This speck of gold was even a little bit bigger than the last one. So if I should take it to the pawn shop to see what it's worth. So today I saw this video of this lady freezing ramen noodles outside in the snow in Canada, and it's negative 3 degrees Fahrenheit in Missouri, so I figured I'd make some ramen and try it out. I added some seasoning, and that ramen was bussin'. It was really good. Then I had to figure out how I was going to prop up this fork so it would be frozen in midair, so I got out these Lego bricks and this weight, and this was my idea. And I went out in the snow to set it up.
We got our little table, and the key is we got to make it thick enough to where the ramen can freeze straight down and hold up the fork. Oh yeah, that's good, bro. That right there is gonna freeze overnight. That's gonna hold up the ramen. That looks like a work of art. I'm gonna come back in the morning, and that should be frozen. Sweet dreams, ramen noodles. Let's check on the ramen. It is frozen right there. Yo, that's solid. I'm just gonna pick up the weight. Oh, we did it. That ramen is frozen. It's completely frozen. And it even passed the Dairy Queen shake test. So it does work. It's frozen in the negative degree temperatures. And I took it inside to see if it would thaw out, and then we just did this.
Oh.
So for the last 2 years, when it was cold enough, I've frozen these giant water balloons. And this year, I bought 2 giant water balloons because the temperatures are in the negatives. The first step was de-thawing the hose in the hot tub to get all the ice out, and then hooking it up and getting the water going. I zip-tied the first blue balloon to the hose and started filling it with water, and after a little while, it looked like this. I let it keep on filling to get to full size, and it was done. And I had to use my bare hands to undo it and zip-tie it, which was really hard because it was like 0 degrees out. But then it was time to fill up the red balloon. I started filling it with water, and after a little while, it was done. And we had 2 6-foot water balloons ready to freeze overnight, and the next day it literally looked like this. It was completely snowy, and the balloons were covered in snow. And both balloons were rock solid and looked like they had completely frozen overnight. I dusted both the balloons off as it continued to snow on them, and then I started cutting into the red one. And as soon as we cut the balloon, we could see the water bubbling inside of it and leaking out. Then I threw a frozen water bottle at it to see how strong the ice was. Then I finished pulling this thing out and stood on the frozen water balloon, and it was really sturdy. And it was really heavy, but I managed to pick this up, and it looked like a giant ice ball. I then got in it to sit in it and see what it felt like. And we had come up with the idea that you could literally sled in this thing if you wanted to, but then I fell in it and broke it, which actually showed us just how thick the ice was, so we threw it up in the air like this. So satisfying, and this was the biggest chunk I managed to get over my head and so drop. Like the video if we should make the blue one a real sled we put behind a car. So in my last video, we froze these giant water balloons overnight in the negative degree temperature, and the next day we cut them open and they looked like giant ice balls. And sitting inside it gave me an idea. You could like sled in I could turn it into a real sled, but I broke it, which showed us just how thick the ice was, and you guys commented wanting me to turn this blue water balloon into the sled. So that's what we're gonna do. I cut it open like we did the red one, and it was super pretty and blue and clear, and then it started bubbling up and draining all the water inside of it. I stood on it to make sure it was strong, and then we let it finish draining, and I picked it up and tried to flip it without breaking it, and it was fine. And it was ready for us to drill a hole and turn it into a sled. So we drilled a hole through the front end of the ice all the way through. That way we could put a rope in and tie it behind a car. And for the first test, we hooked these straps up to a truck and made sure it was strong enough to be pulled without breaking, and then I got in it, and it was actually working. We started off really slow, and the ice was holding up just fine. And once we knew it worked, we picked up the pace and started going even faster, and I was really doing it. I was the first person to be sledding on a full ice sled. My hands were numb, but I was making history, and it made this ball of snow. That broke. So after trying to sell a fake Gail Lewis Walmart vest to the pawn shop guy, he could tell she didn't really sign it.
I don't think she actually signed it. I think it's someone else maybe just going as her.
But she actually saw the video and thought it was hilarious. So I asked her if she would sign a real vest that I could take to the pawn shop, and she agreed. So my friend Brennan gave me his old Walmart vest, and I sent it off to Gail Lewis, and this is the video I got back.
Hey, it's me, Gail Lewis, Morris, Illinois, 844. I'm going to be signing a Walmart vest. Bring it in.
She actually signed her real signature and sent it back to me.
The real Gail Lewis signature. Time to sell it.
And I boxed it up and took it back into the pawn shop to show him the real deal.
Hey, you remember my Gail Lewis vest, right?
Oh yeah, the one that had the signature on it?
That signature before, it wasn't like exactly real. But this is the real deal. Gail Lewis reached out because she saw the video. She actually signed me a vest. So.
Oh, that's cool. You sure it was her, not just some catfisher on...
I have proof.
What in the world?
Oh, that's my friend's old name tag. Ignore that. There's a signature.
Oh, yeah.
This right here is the real Gail Lewis signature.
And he got on his phone to verify.
It looks a little better than the first time around. What proof do you have besides this? You said you had some proof?
Yeah, here.
Hey, it's me, Gail Lewis. I'm going to be signing a Walmart vest. Bring it in.
And after showing him the video, he was convinced.
Oh, it is the same one.
Now that you know this is the real deal, let's talk money. These things went for like upwards of $400,000 on eBay until it got banned.
So it didn't really sell for $400,000?
No.
What do you want for it?
I think $10,000's fair.
You think she would sign one for me if I just sent her a vest?
I mean, maybe. She's pretty nice.
I'd give you $100 for it.
And that was way too low.
Do you have an eBay account? Put it on eBay. Maybe I'll bid on it.
Yeah, I'll just put it on eBay. You're gonna regret it when I sell it for way more on eBay. You could have done the same thing.
No problem. Have a good day.
So like and comment if you want to see me put it on eBay. So after trying to sell my signed Gail Lewis Walmart vest to the pawn shop guy, he wouldn't give me what I wanted.
Lewis signature. I think 10,000's fair.
I'll give you $100 for it.
But he gave me another
Put it on
idea.
eBay. Maybe I'll bid on it.
And you guys told me I should put it on eBay, considering this one went all the way up to 400K on eBay before getting banned. And a while back, I had a similar situation happen with these paintings that went all the way up to 20,000 but never sold. And I'm assuming that might happen here, but we're going to do it anyway and see what happens. I ordered this jersey frame, and I put the shirt in along with this Walmart Christmas pin Gail Lewis sent me as well. I then put it on this hanger, clipped it into the frame, and it looked so good. I closed it up and it was beautiful. It was now my most valuable possession. And it was also ready for eBay.
Gail Lewis signed rookie jersey.
I propped it up on this couch to take some pictures for my listing, and then I started typing away. I put it as a sports jersey and put all the pictures up and stuff, and the listing looked great. I was sure to highlight the Christmas pin and the signature. I started the bid at $100 and then wrote my description. This jersey is a must-have for any Walmart fan. It features the name of legendary player Gail Lewis and is signed for authenticity. The jersey is an original piece, blah, blah, blah. So stay tuned to see if we get banned on eBay. So one day I had an idea to take this small metal detector into Walmart and scan all these gold bricks until I found one with gold. So completely unsure if it could even detect the gold, I just started waving it around every brick until we heard a slight buzz. So I threw that brick in my cart and we headed to Target to buy the bigger bricks that cost $10. I took this cart of bricks to this random aisle and just started scanning them all. And in pretty much all of them, we basically heard nothing, and then we saw an employee and kind of hit. And eventually we got a few bricks where we heard a slight beep, so we just grabbed all of those ones and took them back to test. And you guys also commented saying I need to dissolve them in water so it'll go by faster, so we put the first one in water and started hitting into it and then broke it. And to our shock, we got gold first try.
We actually got gold on the first one.
I then put it up against the tester to see if it worked, and it did.
Yo, that is the tiniest piece of gold.
And in the next break, we weren't so lucky. We just found this rock. And literally in the very next break, we did it again. We found more gold. And now we were really defying the odds with a less than 1% chance of this happening. And we still have these $10 bricks that we broke into and ended up being nothing but rocks in literally both of them. And now I just wanted to see how much my newfound fortune was worth.
I want you to tell me what you think these things are worth.
Each piece was about the size of a ballpoint pen, and he weighed them to calculate the value.
So what do you think they're worth?
$2.44. Is that what you pay for those little bricks?
The bricks are like $4 a piece.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy any more. Even if you find a piece of gold, it's not worth the $4 you're finding.
Dang.
So one day, after finding out from the pawn shop guy that the gold in these sand bricks isn't worth even finding.
What do you think they're worth?
$2.44.
You guys wanted me to go to the store and buy as many of the diamond sand bricks as I could until I found a diamond and see how much the diamonds were. I bought 10 of the small diamonds and one giant diamond for $10. I began with the first diamond, trying to find the best way to get into it, and I eventually put it in water, trying to speed the process along, but it didn't really help. So I got out the world's biggest pocket knife and just started whacking it and then sawing into it. And eventually I found this plastic crystal, but not a diamond, so I kept on going. I slammed the second one open like this and found this rock. Then the next one had this crystal. The next one had another crystal and a rock. And I just kept whacking open diamond by diamond, finding nothing but little crystals and rocks. And we were nearing the end, and I was starting to get worried I wasted all my money, with the giant diamond being my last hope of finding a diamond. So I just started whacking it, breaking it apart, and once it was fully done, we saw it.
No way.
We actually found the diamond on the last one, and this is what it looked like. And now it was just time to find out how rich this would make me.
So remember the other day when I brought in the gold from the gold bricks?
Yep.
And you told me it was only worth like $2?
If that.
They have the same thing for diamonds, and I bought enough to where I actually found a diamond. And I want you to tell me, one, if it's even real, and how much it's worth. There's the diamond.
This is supposed to be a diamond, so it is a diamond, but it's the worst diamond there is. Diamonds are graded by how white they are. See how that's black on that piece of paper? So this is the worst possible diamond.
Like a black diamond's worth less?
A black diamond's really worth nothing.
So what's it actually worth then?
I could probably order that from a supplier for 40 cents.
I paid $10 to find this.
So after finding the gold in these sand bricks but not being able to make my money back,
What do you think they're worth?
$2.44.
you guys suggested I try these $25 bags of dirt that contain real gold inside. So I began sifting through all the dirt, trying to look for any sign of gold. And I saw a little speck.
Oh, I do see gold.
It barely showed up on camera, but I could see it, and then I tried to get it out with these pliers. I carefully picked up the piece of gold to examine it, and it was so tiny and pretty looking, and I couldn't believe it was that easy to find my first piece. I put it in this bag and then kept on looking for more gold. And once I spread it out on the table, we actually found one more piece that was even smaller. So now it was just time to find out what it was worth.
I found some more gold. You remember those bricks I bought where it was like the gold in the sand?
Yep.
Well, this was a bag of dirt, and then you could sift for gold, and we found these two tiny pieces. I want you to tell me what you think they're worth.
Oh, wow, those are small. How much was this bag?
I paid $25 for the bag of gold.
Are you serious? For that?
He then put both pieces on the scale to calculate the value.
You got 0.1 gram. 0.1 grams at 100% of spot. You got $5.72 there in gold.
And he told me he could pay 80%.
About $4. There you go, sir. Only lost $21 on the deal.
So one day, after buying a bunch of these sand diamonds, we eventually found one.
No way.
But it turned out to be a black diamond worth nothing.
It is a diamond, but it's the worst diamond there is.
So what's it actually worth then?
40 cents.
I was distraught, but you guys gave me an idea to buy one of these candles that's guaranteed to have a diamond inside. And it also came with this extra little vial that contained another diamond inside. And it was the smallest diamond ever, so I got out my diamond tester to make sure it was real, and it was. And I was too impatient to let this thing melt all day to find the diamond, so I just started digging for it with this knife. And after a little while of digging through all the wax, we found something. I pulled it out with some pliers like this, and it was another little tube. I opened it up, and we had another diamond inside. So now it was just time to see what they were worth.
You know how I've been buying all these things to like find gold and diamonds and stuff?
Yep.
I got this candle. There's guaranteed a diamond in the candle. They're these little diamonds. Want to hold it? I just want to know like how much these are worth.
So he pulled it out to measure how big the diamond was and calculated the value.
1 point. So it's a 1 point diamond. It's worth about $1.
So I tried to sell him the diamond plus a candle.
Plus your own candle
Sweet.
that has a diamond inside of it.
I think I'd rather just go to my bag and get a diamond. Next time you want to get diamonds, just bring the cash in here and I'll give you a diamond.
So one day I wanted to find out how many rubber bands it takes to get inside this safe and explode this Hawaiian Punch and Diet Coke I shook up. Starting with the safe, we got busy just wrapping all the bands around the center, trying to create as much pressure as possible, but we realized these rubber bands were too small, so we got out these red rubber bands and just began wrapping them around the other rubber bands and trying to keep them all in the center so we could create the most pressure possible to explode the safe. And my goal was to at least damage the safe enough to get inside. We went through a bag of rubber bands and then started placing another one until we completely finished that pile as well. And at this point, we had literally been placing bands on this thing for literally an hour, so I thought I would try to speed the process along by dropping. I went up on this ladder thing and just threw it down. And I think it did increase the pressure of the bands because it created this gap. So I threw it again and it made the gap even bigger. And we could even see inside the front of the safe. So we dropped it a few more times but didn't end up getting into it. So we just moved on to the orange fruit punch where I was hoping to create enough pressure to just explode the bottle up the top. And after a while I just gave it a slight twist and it did this. I then shook up the Diet Coke to try and create as much pressure as possible with the rubber bands combined and tried to do a little bottle rocket thing, but it didn't explode on the first try, so I threw it up again and it exploded sideways like this. So one day I bought this 30-foot weather balloon to see how big it could really get before it popped, as well as this giant wubble bubble to see how big it would inflate as well. So we started with the wubble bubble, just inflating it to normal height, and this is how it was at the normal size, so then it was time to make it even bigger. And not knowing when it would pop, we wanted to mess around with it at the giant size as well, so we stopped it and started playing with it. It was massive and crazy. I hit the ceiling and then walked under it, and then we started inflating it even more. And we could see the wubble bubble material stretching, and it kept getting bigger and bigger, and we had no idea when it was going to pop. But eventually, after a very long time, it looked like this, right before it popped. Here's the slow-mo. Yeah, it was a really hard pop. And now it was time to inflate the 30-foot weather balloon. I attached it to the giant air pump, and quickly it started getting really big.
This thing's gonna air up until it explodes.
And it didn't take very long for it to become way taller than me. And I could already see the material of the balloon stretching as it got bigger and bigger. And I had no idea when the balloon would pop, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I just sat there in amazement at the biggest balloon I've ever seen in my life.
This is how tall it is. It's literally about to reach the ceiling.
And to give an idea of how tall it was, I reached this thing up to show it barely reached. Then I had the idea to throw it at it, but it did nothing. And I was shocked at how strong the balloon was, so I just kept throwing it. But it literally did nothing but break this thick, so I threw it one more time. And it popped. So one day, after spending $25 on this bag of dirt and finding 2 small pieces of gold worth
$5.72.
I decided to step it up and spend $70 on a bigger bag of dirt with the goal of making even more money. The first step was trying to sift all the big chunks out to try to find any big pieces of gold. I dumped it all out on this table and started looking. And I saw a bunch of crystals and rocks, and then right away we saw it. I see gold. We already found our first piece of gold, and it was big. This was it on my finger. I added it to the jar, and we kept on looking. And right after that, we found the second smaller piece of gold. This bag was already proving to be more profitable. And then we found a third piece and quickly found a fourth piece, and our jar was starting to look pretty good, full of gold. I was getting excited, thinking this pile would really make me rich. And we stumbled upon a 5th piece of gold. And after that, I just got my phone light out and really started digging through the rocks and found yet again another piece. We found a 7th piece of gold in the thicker pieces of dirt, and then it was time to do one more thorough search before we moved on to panning all the finer pieces of dirt, which at first didn't seem like it was going well.
There ain't no gold. Wait.
Until literally the tiniest piece of gold I've ever seen caught my eye. And with 8 pieces of of gold, it was time to see what it was worth.
What's up, Dylan?
You remember I came in the other day, I spent $25 on the dirt and I found that $5 worth of gold?
Yep.
I ended up spending $70 more on a different set of dirt and I found even more gold this time.
How much gold do you think's in there?
I have a feeling it's about $35 worth of gold or so.
You think so? I'm guessing there's probably $20 worth in there.
He zeroed out the cap on the scale and then weighed it with the gold, and it weighed
0.4 grams.
And then he calculated the value at 21 carats.
$23.35. So basically they put $23 worth of gold in a $70 bag of dirt. That's a pretty good return on their part.
Well, I might not have found it all either.
And I made $20. So a while back, I put the pawn shop guy's face on a t-shirt and tried to sell it to him.
It's one of a kind.
Wow, pawn guy.
Now,
shirt.
since everyone's saying the pawn shop guy is really tired of me, I decided to make something else. I found this website and created this poster of me, and then it was time to give it to the pawn shop guy.
You bring me some artwork? Looks like a picture.
So every one of my comments lately, they've been saying you're tired of seeing me come in the pawn shop and stuff.
Oh no, never.
To replace me, I brought you something else.
That is cool. What happened to your legs?
Oh, they made them a little short.
This is like your little brother.
You then took the poster of me and stuck it behind the counter to work.
It looks like I'm working.
And approximately 1 week later, I received this video of the pawn shop guy taking me to Mexico.
Dylan goes diving.
So one day I wanted to see how much I could sell this jar of oil for to the pawn shop guy, so I went out to the oil field to find out.
Good to see you.
I'd like to buy some
He
oil.
explained to me how everything worked and how valuable his operation
It ends
was.
up making you money. It's like pulling money out of the earth.
And then we went over to where all the oil was stored so I could take a look inside. And I could look inside this little hole to see all the oil, and then it came out this little spigot as well.
How much for a jar of this oil?
Well, I think I saw this morning oil was selling for $50 a jar. I'll let you have it for $48 because I like you so much.
Can you do 20?
Tell you what, for you, I'll do 25.
So after our negotiating, he filled up my jar with oil.
Got some liquid gold right here.
And then I paid him his
Here's
money.
your money.
Okay.
And it was now time to take it to the pawn shop to see how much profit I could make.
What's up, Dylan?
You know what this is?
Applesauce?
This is crude oil straight from the pipes of an oil field.
Really?
Basically, you could buy this from me at a discounted rate because I got it straight from the source. You could sell it to a refinery to make gasoline and stuff.
Don't they sell that by the barrel? It don't quite look like a barrel. I don't know. I mean, what are you trying to get out of it?
I was thinking $30.
It's only like $75 a barrel. That's probably $1 worth of oil in there.
I paid $25 to get this, so I was just hoping I could sell it for more.
Yeah, I think you paid way too much for it. I'd give you probably 50 cents for it.
I'm gonna have to pass.
And I had to walk. So after my last video of buying a jar of oil from this oil man for $25 a jar, I thought I would be able to turn around and sell the oil to the pawn shop for more money, but it turns out it wasn't worth much.
You paid way too much for it. I'd give you probably 50 cents for it.
And I was pretty upset about it and felt scammed, so I drove back out to the oil field to get my money's worth. And just as I started filling up my jar, the oil man pulled up.
Are you stealing my oil?
And I explained to him that I wanted my money back because it wasn't
only
worth what I
worth
paid.
like $1.
But he offered me a deal instead.
Not only will I give you your money back, but I'm going to let you work for me all day long.
So we had a deal and I got busy.
To climb up that big old tank, look out there and see if all of my wells are pumping oil.
And my first job was getting up high to check on his wells.
Everything's pumping like a dream.
Well, that's great. Now on to the next job.
And then I got dressed for the next job that was out in the oil well. My job was to grease up this oil well so it would pump oil more
You
efficiently.
got to get this well pumping real nice.
So I finished that up and had another job.
I want you to take this bucket and I want you to walk it over to that oil well.
So I did what he asked and carried the bucket all the way over to the other well.
There's one born every minute.
And he shared lots of wisdom.
Oil is life.
And my last job was to get this well pumping again.
Any oil whatsoever. And I want you to make it pump oil.
And I was committed, and after messing with it for a few hours, we got it going.
We're making oil.
And at the end of the day, he seemed pretty happy.
I couldn't be more proud of you. There's all your money back. I appreciate it. Son, is that a Tesla in my oil field?
Yeah, that's my car.
In one of my last videos, I bought this candle that supposedly had a real diamond in it, and we actually found one. But the pawn shop guy told me it was only worth
about $1.
But recently I saw these money candles that contain loads of money. I paid $30 for it, and right off the bat got gummy bears.
Somewhere in this candle, there's money.
I lit the candle to get it going and let it burn. And while I waited, I thought about all the money I could find, 100, 200. And then I just got bored and let it sit by this window while I did some other activities, like riding this scooter around the warehouse, then just contemplating life up here. But eventually I got too impatient and really wanted to see how much money was inside, so I just blew it out so I could start digging in it. And since it had been burning, the wax was actually a lot softer and easier to dig through, and we actually saw the money. But I had to keep on digging because it was too waxy and slippery to actually grab it. But eventually we were finally able to break it loose and pull it out.
Oh, we got it, bro.
The money was encased in this foil that I almost cut, but then I was like, oh wait, I can just unwrap it like this. And I was about to find out how much profit I made.
Oh, yo, is that a $2 bill? A genuine $2 bill. Wow. It's like George Washington or something. Wow.
So I bought this real iceberg water off Amazon for $200 because I wanted to see if I could pawn it for the same price I paid. But first I had to buy some normal water to see if there was actually even a noticeable difference.
I like it. Smart water. Tastes like water. Let's see if I wasted my money.
I smelled the water and it was really funky.
Yo, I smell like 15,000 years ago, I swear.
I then poured it into this cup and started drinking it, and I was actually surprised.
That literally kind of tastes like hose water. I like it.
And now it was time to see what it was worth to a pawn shop.
Dylan, what are you up to?
Well, I just brought something in that you might want to buy.
It looks like vodka.
This is the finest water you can buy. It's sourced straight from an iceberg. Worth about $300.
How do you really know it's from an iceberg?
Says it. False advertising is illegal.
Does it taste different than regular water?
Here, I'll let you try it.
And then we let him do a blind taste test on the water to see if he could tell which one was iceberg water.
I'll take a drink of each one of them and I'll see which one's better, okay? This one tastes a little muskier, like it's old. Is this the expensive one?
Yeah.
Bam.
And then we talked money.
This is only half a bottle. I mean, you did drink some of that value. I guess I'll sell this to you for $200.
Why $200? Because online it's only $54.69.
And he showed me where I could have got it way cheaper.
Oh, I'd give you $10.
And we still made a deal. So I bought this bag of dirt for $70, and we found enough gold to be worth approximately
$23.35.
And since then, you guys told me if I spend even more money on a better bag of dirt, I'd find even more gold. So I bought this bag off Amazon for $130, and I started out sifting all the big chunks to try to find a big nugget. And right away, we found one. It was one of the biggest ones we'd ever seen. It could be worth a ton on its own. And right after that, we saw another big chunk right here. I picked them up and put them both in the jar and then kept on searching. And we quickly found more gold. We found this bigger triangle piece and this even smaller piece you could barely see. And we just kept adding more and more gold to the jar. And after that, we literally just found piece after piece of gold nonstop. And after a little bit more searching through this pile, we found one more piece of gold. And then I got out the rest of the sand and dumped it in the sifter, sifted it out, and immediately found more gold. We found a few more pieces in the rest of this sand here and here. And then to make sure I didn't miss anything, I got out this metal detector, which detected one last really small piece. And then I resorted to panning for all the finer pieces left, which didn't really get me anything until eventually I was almost out and I saw it. It left tons of little pieces of gold that I put inside this container and then tested with my detector to make sure it was real, and then it was time to see what it was worth.
Here's the gold I found. I want you to tell me what you think it's worth.
It's more than you've had in the past.
He then waited in the cap to see what it was worth.
You're 0.9 grams. $37 worth of gold.
Oh, that's actually a lot.
And before giving me any money for it, he made sure it was completely real. And he actually said he made a mistake and it was worth more.
It's worth $57. Sorry, I had the wrong carat weight.
No way.
I'll give you $50 for it. You're only losing half this way.
The most I ever made.
Well, you really didn't make anything. You still lost 80.
So one day I went to the store to buy every single energy drink brand and flavor to mix into one single energy drink concoction, starting with these end caps of different flavors, and then we stumbled upon the mother load of all the energy drinks. I didn't even realize the dollar store had this many energy drinks, but I just started grabbing them all, and I was seeing so many brands and flavors I'd never even heard of. And our cart went from looking like this to looking like this. And I walked out spending $128 on energy drinks, and then I went to Walmart to get the drinks I missed, like Ghost, Bang, Prime, and Celsius. And we had everything on a single table, and it was time to sort them all completely by brand, which took quite a while, and the award for the most drinks went to Monster. Monster Energy had way more drinks than everyone else. And now the plan was to add a half tablespoon of each drink into this blender and into this jug. And I also tried some drinks, which were good.
I like that one.
And then some that were not so good.
Ew, what is that?
And here we are just speeding everything up, mixing every single energy drink, and this is what it looked like after we mixed every single Monster Energy. Yeah, kind of gross. And we carried on dumping all the other drinks, Prime, and everything, just completely filling up this little blender. Until eventually we had done it. We had made the most insane energy drink that has ever been made in the history of history. And it kind of looked like coffee, but I smelled it and poured it in a cup to try. And some of the liquids immediately separated in the cup like this. And it was kind of bland.
Is it?
It's alright.
So a while back, I bought this candle that had a tiny diamond inside, and then I bought this candle that was supposed to have loads of money inside, but all I ended up finding was this $2 bill. So I ordered 2 more brand new candles to increase my odds of finding thousands of dollars. This one smells like birthday cake.
There's money in these, anywhere from $2 to $2,500. Last time we only found $2, but I gotta figure out how to get it in this pan so we can melt it and find the money faster.
And it wouldn't come out, so I had a brilliant idea to put it in this box, tape it up, and throw it.
I'm scared, but...
And after a few throws, it sounded pretty shattered. I opened up the box, and the candles were pretty broken, but not all the way, so we got out this hammer and finished up the job like this. And remember, I'm a trained professional. I pulled apart the glass like this, then pulled out the wick.
Oh, we found the money.
I pulled out the money and immediately unwrapped it, and again was left with this.
It's a $2 bill. We have one left. Oh, there's the money. This has to be over $100, or else I'm just losing my money. $2. For $80 worth of candles, I got 2 $2 bills and an airhead. Worth that. This is $200 iceberg water, and this is $1 water. Let's see if I can tell the difference. No smell to this one. It smells pretty normal. This is the cheap one, I guarantee it. Whoa, that's like musky. That's the Berg water. That's crazy.
Today I'm attempting to make the world's strongest glass called a Prince Rupert drop, which is pretty much indestructible unless you break the tail. I started out just melting this glass with propane, but only got it hot enough to do that. So we stabilized it like this, but only got it hot enough to bend it. So I ordered this completely different type of glass, but was only able to bend it as well. So I bought this new yellow gas that's supposed to burn way hotter, and it actually melted the glass way better. And after a while, the glass was actually dripping and dropped into the water and created what I thought was a Prince Rupert drop, but it broke. For some reason, the glass completely shattered in the water, but we knew how to do it now, so we did it again. And this time it dropped in the water perfectly, and just like that, I had created a perfect, beautiful Prince Rupert drop.
That's perfect.
And it had a tail that apparently, if it gets broken, is supposed to completely shatter. So it was time to put it to the test. Starting with the hammer, we whacked it a couple times, and it was fine. Then I hit it again like this, really hard, and still no damage, so we put it in the pliers and accidentally broke the tail off like that. But for some odd reason, it didn't shatter, and it still wouldn't break.
Oh my gosh.
So then we just dropped it from really high, which did absolutely nothing. So my last resort was to just drop this brick on it, and that accidentally completely smashed it.